What's good, my folk? It is Stage Krunchy Milk. It's episode 557. Welcome to it. Oh my gosh. It's been a hot second. Yes. And, normally we chat and we're going to get to it, but I just wanted to make sure you knew what it was. Because it's been a little bit. But we on the scene, man. And, what would I talk to you about? Well, I guess I'll talk to you about my man, Saafir, the Saucy Nomad, who unfortunately recently left us. And I'm gonna pull up I could have swore I had it up already, but let me go back and dig up my man's Wikia. And because that's the guy whose lyrics I intended to do tonight, and I was like, well, let me tell you about the Saucy Nomad. Reggie Gibson was from Oakland, California. I knew him from a group that never was but could have been called. It was going to be called the Golden State Warriors. It was going to be Exhibit, Razcast, and Saafir, and they made all kinds of mixtape songs in the let's go with the early aughts and the late '90s, and they were going to be something, and it just never kind of worked out because it's tough to take a name that already exists called the Golden State Warriors. They also had a song called NBA, which was Niggas Ball Automatically. And it had a variation of that John Tesh NBA song that you used to hear on NBC. That dun 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 dun. It had a variation on that theme.
Round Ball Rock.
Round Ball Rock. That's the name of it. Thank you. And I don't know. They were going to be something, and we're never going to be anything because it's like, it's such a specific sound, a specific thing. Like the fact that Exhibit got as popular as he got. I mean, of course, it's Pimp My Ride and stuff like that there, but he was always going to be seemed to always be like just an underground guy. Razcast is a known, but an underground guy, and Saafir was just another one of those underground guys. And he, unfortunately, had gotten ill and left us on the 19th of November. Man, surrounded by his loved ones, which is dope. And it absolutely stinks that a cool dude like that. I just liked his music. I liked his works. His name was Saafir, the Saucy Nomad, and I just thought, what a cool name. It's a dumb name, but it's like it's that good dumb that you're like, yeah, I appreciate that, Saafir, the Saucy Nomad. And I had, like I said, I had been thinking about him and was like, oh, you know what, I'll do his lyrics. And then, of course, I read his lyrics. I'm like, I cannot do these lyrics. And then I'm like, well, I'll just go see if I can find it on Spotify and I can try to get the cadence down. No, this song is not available on Spotify. It's off the Street Fighter soundtrack. Y'all remember the Van Damme Street Fighter movie? The awful Van Damme Street Fighter movie? Which was, oddly enough, Raul Julia's last movie. And he did it for his kids, Rest Easy, Raul Julia. And, of course, now Saafir, the Saucy Nomad. But I was like, all right, look, if I can't find this nowhere, but I can find it in that it's on YouTube, because everything is kind of hides out there, then I'm just going to play his lyrics. And I normally don't do that. I just spit the lyrics myself, but I'm just going to play my man's lyrics. And we go and send a nice rest easy to Saafir, the Saucy Nomad, Reggie Gibson, rest easy. And I hope your family knows that you loving them from afar, my guy. But let's play his verse off of Come With It off the Street Fighter soundtrack. He brought up the rear. He had the last verse, and then we'll just get into the show. Let's go.
We went all around the planet, pitching, and no one hit it. I'm the third batter up, Saafir. Well, then come with it. All around the planet, pitching, and no one hit it. I'm the third batter, Saafir. Well, then come with it. Some spit it, but my saliva is live spit, stenches, drenches, bit intricated, flow brackets, accented, thyroidthermia, hypodermic. How I earn it, squeezing juices 100% concentrated on easy loses around the necks of tricks. Probably won't get this thick body, holly carburetor. I'm the unpriggish well cat led, breaded well, ill verse. My will is whole gung for the fortune. Can spell hearse with the same Adams family. Apple, grapple, hook, crooked. Flyer, I fly crooked for the crew. Homo junction. In a few, our grandfather soldiers, and when they're older, I'll teach them of killings of confidence and to be omnipotent with content. A combat for gladiation, I'm done with training of explaining at the crates in plan B. Plan the attack instructs me to hit the yak. I'm here on purpose. The nomadic addict merchant. We went all around the planet, pitching, and no one hit it. Well, then come with it. All around the planet, pitching, and no one hit it.
Oh man, let me tell you something. Street Fighter soundtrack. So you gotta imagine, Street Fighter is gonna be. Oh shit, we've been playing Street Fighter for years, and this movie comes along. Street Fighter 2 was like the thing in the arcade, and the main characters of Street Fighter are Ryu and Ken. And so they make a movie, and they make the main character and the American character who was in the Air Force, Guile. And who do they get to play him? But the the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I'm like, get the fuck right out of here, you idiots. It is a terrible movie. Terrible movie. And you're like, man, what is going on? Well, and then it's like you see the soundtrack, and on the soundtrack it's Ice Cube, it's Nomad, it's Respeck, Saafir, Nas, The Far Side, Paris, The Bums, LL, Craig Mack. Deion Sanders has the worst song I've ever heard in my life on this soundtrack. It's Deion Sanders and Hammer, and the song is called Straight to My Feet. It is garbage. But Public Enemy has a song on here. What's up?
Don't let the Hammer hear you saying that.
Hey,
You'll
man.
be on the shit list.
Hammer, I think, would agree this was probably not his best work. And so
You're playing the forces you don't understand.
I understand that Hammer is a dude who can get dudes and or get at you himself. I'm not even saying Hammer's part is bad. Deion's, I'm going to find you straight to my feet. I'm going to play you straight to my feet. And you're going to be like, oh, that's awful. I didn't even know they made a music video to this. That's crazy. Well, let me see if I can find you the actual just. Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got a George Clinton
Yeah,
sound
well,
about
yeah,
it.
that's an easy sample to make. So, Hammer, cool, not bad. Not bad at all. It's Hammer. You know how Hammer sounds. Let's get you Deion Sanders. Yeah, Coach Prime. Oh, what's your get it? Well, again, this is a time where Deion Sanders played baseball, football, once flew from one game to the other in the same day. He was prime. But guess that motherfucker can't do. He can't rap for shit. And,
I don't know. That sounds like a summer banger to me.
solid coach, all around seemingly a good human being. I'm not knocking Deion Sanders. That song is like woof. Oh my god. Man, regular standard show fair. Got a couple of news stories for you. We have an Emma the asshole that we got sent in from a listener who wrote us on Threads. Was like, hey man, I got a real life Emma the asshole. I go write it up and send it to us. We'll read it on the show. So that'll be fun for Emma. We also have a standard Emma the asshole, but it's like 3 parts. So don't worry. So whatever, man. And yeah, me and Box will get caught up on one another's lives and kick it and so forth, and it's gonna be easy, baby. Your first story, Satanic Temple begins religious release program at Ohio elementary school. I love everything about this. Cliff Pinkert on the byline, Cleveland.com is where the story comes from. Marysville, Ohio, a public elementary school will begin offering a religious release program for students sponsored by the Satanic Temple. reportedly in response to a Christian program already established in the school system. Hellion Academy of Independent Learning, HAIL, begins this month at Edgewood Elementary School in Marysville, according to a Facebook group from the Satanic Temple. Students can attend the program once a month during school hours, but off the school campus. An ordained minister with the Satanic Temple, the only satanic religious organization recognized as a church by the IRS and federal courts, tells WCMH Channel 4 that a parent approached the group and asked for HAIL to be offered at the school. The minister, June Everett, tells WCMH that HAIL is only offered when requested and only at schools where other religious programs already are established. LifeWise Academy, an Ohio-based program operating in 200 schools in Ohio, is offered at Edgewood Elementary School, WCMH reports. LifeWise removes participating students from school for 55 minutes once per week to study the Bible. The parent requested HAIL as an alternative to LifeWise. Everett tells WCMH, "We aren't trying to shut the LifeWise Academy down, but I do think a lot of school districts don't realize when they open the door for one religion, they open it for all of them," Everett said. Everett says HAIL focuses on ideals such as acting with compassion and empathy, pursuit of justice, respecting others, freedoms, and aligning beliefs with scientific facts. "We are not devil worshippers," Everett tells WOSU. "Different Satanists across the United States will give you different answers depending on how they personally believe. But as a whole, we are non-theistic, meaning we don't believe in any supernatural deities, and that includes, God or Satan." Joel Penton, the CEO of LifeWise, said in a statement to WOSU that he believes the establishment of HAIL at Marysville shows that the state legislature should pass a proposed bill to give school districts greater clarity on religious release programs. LifeWise isn't fearful of other organizations offering released time religious instruction, Penton said in the statement. "We believe all families should have the opportunity to choose religious study during school hours, and we trust parents to make the best choice for their children." Despite the popularity of LifeWise in Ohio, there has been some pushback from state districts. In October, board members of the Westerville City School voted 4-0 to end the policy allowing the release of students for the program. Board members say they were concerned about the liability issues about disrupting the school day for students. Man, the Church of Satan, the Satanic Temple as it were, is a hilarious bunch of dudes or individuals. And I love they always show up in situations like this where it's like, "Oh, hold on, what you doing now? Nah, I got you. We'll put together a little something program for you to," not necessarily beat back against it, just be like, "Look, if you're going to have one church, you got to have all churches. Maybe don't have no churches." And I kind of sign off on that. Because what the hell are you bringing church to a public school situation for? Go send them to a private school. Don't do that. It's just dumb. It's a good dumb. I thought that was a relatively positive news story. I think this one's a positive one as well. LGBTQ plus org receives $829,465 to address housing insecurity in Northeast Ohio. Almost a third of all respondents to a recent LGBTQ plus community needs assessment have experienced housing insecurity in their life. Ken Shank, editor, and Ben Jodway of the Buckeye Flame, who's on the byline here. In Ohio, LGBTQ plus organization has been awarded basically $800,000 plus some change. A grant to create transitional housing for LGBTQ plus individuals on Cleveland's east side. House of Transcendent, HOT, was launched in 2023 as a nonprofit organization to address the social drivers of LGBTQ plus health through outreach, case management, housing, and art. In 2022, HOT CEO Jordy Luke purchased an 8,600 square foot mixed use building in the Sinclair Superior neighborhood with the goal of providing low barrier transitional and permanent housing and community space for LGBTQ plus individuals at risk of homelessness. Skyrocketing post-pandemic construction costs and a reported break-in where the space was ransacked for valuable scrap material delayed the project. The new grant could make HOT housing, that's cool, could they spell it kind of German, housing, a reality. With the monies, HOT will be able to rehab the building as well as purchase 3 adjacent lots, all a part of a robust plan that includes transitional housing, permanent housing, and office space. This is a watershed moment for HOT as we take a monumental step toward fulfilling our mission to build an accessible, vibrant, and healthy community for all, said Luke. The grant was provided by Sandra Hoskins Legacy Foundation, a North Carolina-based organization that seeks out and supports projects focused on providing housing and employment opportunities for those with barriers or economic independence. barriers to economic independence. This is the biggest grant Shelf has ever given. Christy Yonkers, executive director of Shelf, said at a hot event on November 10th, "We must take care of each other because we can't count on the government to do that. The need for such a project is evident. Recent findings from the Greater Cleveland LGBTQ plus community needs assessment key data points include, among those surveyed, 31% have experienced housing insecurity at some point in their life. Of respondents experiencing housing insecurity, 24% experience insecurity every month, 36% most months, 8% for a month or two annually, and 31% are unsure about their housing stability. It's not just about housing, it's housing plus," a community surveyor respondent wrote. "We need another layer between the people receiving services and those providing them. They need someone to hold their hand, ensure they know how to access the services, and to help them make this more than just emergency housing." According to the needs assessment, the community survey highlighted 2 recommendations: build more LGBTQ plus friendly safe spaces, community areas and neighborhoods, and provide housing assistance, including senior, low income, trans friendly housing, and co-op living. Jelani White, a researcher on the Greater Cleveland Community Needs Assessment Team, further emphasized the significance of a grant awarded to HOT. "Everyone deserves a home," White said. "Everyone deserves safety and should feel safe and secure. And everyone needs a place to just be and exist. HOT housing marks the beginning of something necessary, powerful, and revolutionary. Needed now more than ever." I just think it's dope. Local org got a pretty substantial grant to do what needs to be done, and we hope they are can get it done and conduct it well. And there you go, folks. Happy and good times, and so forth and so on. And let me do this. I gotta click a button here, and that's this button, and that's so I can switch over to another thing. Box, I give it up to you, sir. It's time for some story time with Lunchbox. Hold on, you know you got an intro. Now let's see if it plays right, because it didn't last time we did this.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
Y'all gotta see
that was the first time I heard the audio.
Oh, okay. Well, that boat is hilarious. Every time I see it, I'm like, that is some terrible animation. Whoever drew that boat, look, quality work. I'll never be able to repeat it myself. It just looks like so hilariously bad. But I feel like I might need to find a better boat situation. But no, you specifically said, I'm going off to the military Wonder Year style. So I'm like, that's the closest thing I got to a military boat kind of vibe.
It reminded me of like something you'd see in a 90s computer game.
Hell yeah, like what's the ones that the one
like Command and Conquer?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about, because your boy the wrestler was in the one. Ric Flair was in one of those Command and Conquer games.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was like, because they would do like video and stuff like that there, like a full motion video, and he was in one of those. I think it was like in Command and Conquer 3.
I didn't have like a powerful computer or a fast internet connection like in my early years of high school, so like it was really difficult for me to play sometimes. But me and some buddies would sometimes play like Command and Conquer Red Alert 2.
Yeah. Ric Flair was a character in Red Alert 3. You were just right there.
I was one off.
He played Douglas. He played Douglas Hill. Was it Commander Douglas Hill, or was he just? Because he definitely had on. He played Commander Douglas Hill, and there you go. If you remember what Command and Conquer looked like with Ric Flair, Command and Conquer 3 specifically. But we give it up to you, my boy. What's popping with you? Thanksgiving happened. Life is happening. Well, share whatever you wish to share.
I think it's time that we as a society stop trying to turn Creed into a joke and give them the goddamn respect they deserve. Because I went to that concert and it was phenomenal. It was one of the best shows I've ever been to in my entire life. The energy in the crowd, the pyrotechnics, the music, Like I was locked arm in arm with strangers. Not even kidding.
I'm
And
not. I'm not joking when I say this. I really need your guidance here. Give me the Creed song so I can understand what I'm looking at.
oh my god, there's just so many. Like their first, I think, like major commercial hit was probably like that everyone knows is Higher.
Can
Like,
you take me high? There we
yeah.
go. Look, I know it seems assholey, and I'm never trying to diss the situation. But I constantly get them confused with Nickelback, and I know I shouldn't. We had a whole discussion about it, about how they both are just like huge bands that need to, again, like you said, need the respect that they have earned because they're great musicians who have a hell of a catalog and have sold tens of millions of records. Great guys. I can understand it.
I feel like Nickelback is they're good in their own right,
Yeah.
but I feel like Creed is another level. Like
We looked up, they
Nickelback's
are.
got longevity
Yeah.
to them, and they have hits, but I don't think they have hits on the level that Creed had hits in the like late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because like, I could pull up the set list from that night. I think. Just give me one sec. Because it was funny. Like I was at the show and I was like, man, I wonder if there's a set list posted online. And then there was like a actual website that was like people go on and they were posting set lists from shows. So it's like I went on there while I was at the show and looked up the set list that they played in like Detroit like 2 nights prior, and it was like the same list song for song.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So they played a 16 song set. A couple of the songs I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah,
Just like
but I
more
don't
recent
think,
joints or just older shit?
I
Like
think I think they were like some of the non-mainstream hits off like maybe some of the other albums.
so like some
and then
deep album cuts.
And then they did have one song that I guess was like new that like no one really knew. So they let off with some song called Bullets, which I didn't know. Then they let off with, and then the second song was Freedom Fighter, which I didn't know. Then their third song was Torn, which I didn't really know. So I understand I'm not making a compelling argument so far. But then this is like where like it starts to pick up for me. Is their fourth song was Are You Ready, which was actually also the name of the tour.
Yeah.
But Are You Ready is like get the crowd going, energetic, like high energy, get you in the moods kind of songs. So they lead off with a couple of like we're gonna like bring you in, and then Are You Ready kind of cranks up a little bit. And then 5 was a song called I didn't know, called Never Die. And this was around the time where they started doing like Scott Stapp started doing the little like talking in between some of the songs, giving you stories and kind of like sprinkling in spirituality. So like after this, it was like banger after banger after banger, song I don't know, another song I don't know, banger, 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 banger. So, all right, so the number 5, I guess I was Never Die. Number 6, one of their big hits, My Own Prison, which is a song like they got significant radio play. Number 7's What If, which is another song I like. Number 8, Say I, good song. Number 9 was the new song that I didn't know, Unforgiven. No, I don't think anyone knew it.
How was it though?
It was fine. Like I wasn't paying as close attention to it because like that's how I am when I'm hearing things for the first time. You know me, I'm stoic. It's because I'm listening and then absorbing. I'm not like, like, oh my god, this is like I'm judgmental in that way.
Yeah.
Number 10 was a song that I believe he talked about the one guitarist's buddy killing himself or something when they were kids, suicide thing, and it was called Don't Stop Dancing. So I guess it was like a tribute song to them or something. Number 11, they played One, which is another banger. 12, What's This Life For? What's This Life For? That was the one that was the tribute song for the friend who killed himself. Number 13, With Arms Wide Open.
A banger.
14, Higher. Then came the encore, walk off stage. Oh my God, come back, Creed! Ah! They come back. They do 2 more songs. They do One Last Breath, and they end it with My Sacrifice.
Yeah, I know that one too. That's a good wrap up for that. Encore?
Yeah. That was the encore, yeah.
Okay.
One
Very
Last
cool.
Breath and My Sacrifice. So there were 3 bands that played, Cream being the headliner. Some band called Mammoth led off, and like I didn't know them, wasn't familiar with their work in any way, so I didn't even bother to get there while they were on. First off, I was going with a group of people who are notoriously late
Yes.
and poor planners,
Ooh.
and I was going down by myself. Like I was meeting everybody there because I had to work and then get off work, get ready, and everything. Go there. So like knowing these people, I made 0 effort to like be on time for that reason, for the reason I didn't know the band, and for the fact that we were in the pit for the whole show without chairs, so I was gonna be standing the whole fucking time.
No need to get there early for that. Then that's real.
Yeah.
Was this at the Field House or was it somewhere else?
It was a Rock and Mortgage Field House.
Good. Okay.
So then the second band was another early 2000s band that has like a bunch of bangers, Three Doors Down.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And so like I got to the floor like 2 minutes before they started their set. So I was like, it was like perfect timing for me because I didn't give a shit about the first band. And Three Doors Down, I know, but like I knew like over half their playlist.
Okay.
Because they only played 12 songs, and like so I knew most of that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you like these are like Christian rock bands from the late 90s, early 2000s. And they've dealt with their fair share of like substance abuse problems and infighting and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Three Doors Down band that went on second, the lead singer, who's the only the only member who's still in the band from back in the day.
Yeah.
So like the front man, like that's for me, the front man's always like the band. I never know who fucking's playing the drums or like in 99% of cases, I never know who's fucking playing the instruments. So they could change out those people like every single show and I wouldn't know it as long as the fucking lead singer was the same guy or lady, whichever,
Yeah.
So like he was the lead singer, so I was like, oh, this is Three Doors Down. And then I looked it up later and I'm like, oh shit, he's the only one left.
So he's the only original member left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had on a shirt that said just Jesus on it.
Yeah.
And like it was funny after every song, like in his like Mississippi accent, he'd be like, thank you my friends, and, like when people were cheering and shit. And about halfway through the show, after one of the songs, he went into like a 5-minute sermon about Jesus and opening up yourself to the Lord and Jesus will be your guiding light. And I was just like, sure buddy, just play Kryptonite. Come on. Like, come on. I'm not here for this.
I want you to know right here in their Wikipedia, in 2022, Stapp said in an interview, Creed was not a Christian band. So Creed, don't claim that energy.
Well, so see, that's the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Because Three Doors Down, like, he was full on Jesus.
Yeah.
Creed, when Scott Stapp talked in between songs, he danced around it. It was spiritual, and it was like we're all in a journey together, and we're making energy, and like it was more, he sounded more like The Rock talking about manna than he did like a preacher talking about Jesus.
Facts.
So the show ended sometime a little bit after 11. So it started at 7. I got there probably about 7:30ish or whatever. 7:40, somewhere like that.
What night was this? What like is this a work night or is a weekend?
This was a Friday.
Okay, that's dope. I'll get down with that.
Yeah, I think it was Friday the 22nd.
Okay.
So I was planning on working overtime the next morning. Plus, like, I don't drink anymore at all, and most of the people I was with were already very drunk, and they were all wanting to go out and like do whatever, and I'm like, that's one of the benefits to me driving separately is I can just dip out whenever the fuck I want. So I straight up told them when the show was over, I was like, "You guys are gonna have fun. I'm out this bitch. It's after 11 o'clock. I've been standing up now for like when you can include the time that I had to like walk from the parking lot to the show and everything. It was over 4 hours at that point that like I've been on my feet, and like I'm a big guy. That's difficult on the body when like you work from home and you sit in a chair all the time.
Yeah.
So like I was hurting, not as bad as I thought like I would have been, which is good. Like I was pleasantly surprised with how well I held up, and like the next day I was a little sore, and by day 2 I was like perfectly fine. So big ups to my body for healing. But I had thought about working overtime the next morning, like Saturday morning, for a couple hours. Didn't end up happening. I slept in, but like I wanted to get home in case I decided to try and do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so like, they were all kind of trying to make their plans on where they were going to go.
Yeah.
And like I said before, we were on the floor in the pit. Like we didn't have seats. So like the show ended and like Creed did like the tossing of the guitar picks out to the crowd and the drumsticks and waving and everything. And they went off stage, and it was funny because you saw a couple of, what's the terminology for like women who hang back and try to sleep with the band? Groupies?
Is that not groupies?
Yeah,
it's groupies, right?
Yeah, I was just making sure because for some reason Rhodey was in my head, but I know that's not Rhodey. That's the crew.
Yeah.
But yeah, groupie. There were 2 groupies that were hanging around by the stage when Creed left, and like you could tell they were trying to like see somebody from somewhere up there. But like we were on the floor, and like the entire arena is like dispersing, and everybody's leaving, and so like the people I was with, they were trying to get everybody collected because like the one guy's wife had gone to the bathroom. And like they didn't know where they were all going to go, so they were trying to like huddle up, figure out their plans of where they were to go convene at. And while this is happening, the security guards come over and are like, "Are you guys gotta leave?" And we're like, we are." And then like a minute goes by, and like they're still trying to collect themselves.
Yeah.
And the security guard comes over again, and one of the guys I was with is just like, "I'll fucking leave when I want to leave."
Well,
and I was like, "All right, I'm out of here."
This takes a turn when you do that shit.
Oh yeah. So as soon as I heard that, I immediately walked a couple feet away. I waved. I'll see y'all later, and I just left.
We just disappeared.
Yeah. It was like a half Irish goodbye. I was like, "I'm out of here." So then, like, I'm walking up the stairs because, like, I'm on the floor. Speaking of which, and so it's like I'm going up the steps. And there's like some woman in front of me, and like her friends like in front of her, and she's like trying to like make small talk with me.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't interested, and like I wanted to get the fuck out of there. So I talked to him like the climb up the steps, and then as soon as I got to the top, I was like, "All right, body, don't film me now." And I just zipped into the crowd. I was like, "I'm not hanging around here, no small talk, not doing this. You had me trapped in the stairwell, but I'm free now."
Fact.
And so I just dipped.
What's good, Captain 3-in-1? Welcome to the stream. Oh my gosh.
Aye, Captain.
I did. So, I mean, you left, so of course. But I don't know, man. You trying to fight security? Don't get got. No, not you. Like, I'm talking about them. Like, don't do it.
I wouldn't put it past him, and I think part of it is because like he was in a slightly bad mood, because like the person he was there with, like they were getting into it a little bit. In their drunkenness, and so I think he was like kind of irritated, and he's taking it out on the security guard, who in my opinion was being kind of like unnecessarily pushy.
Oh, for sure.
Like it was like there's nothing there to clean up.
Yeah.
Like, and people are still going up the stairs. It's not like it's not like it's a Marvel movie and we stayed until the end of the credits and everybody else is already out of the theater and you need to start cleaning.
Yeah.
Like, there's still people going up the steps. Like, we could easily just be the last ones to go up the steps. But, he wanted to flex his muscles and be Mr. Tough Guy. And, my buddy was like ex-Navy and drunk and irritated and he wasn't having it. So he was just like, well, fuck you. I'll leave when I want to leave. Like, and I'm just like, yes, this is too much drama for me. It's unnecessary. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But I think they were both at fault. But I don't know I didn't hear about anything happening. So like, I'm pretty sure like they just ended up leaving without any incident further from that. Thankfully, but yeah, like I said, great show, and like it was one of those situations too where like I didn't want to be on the floor. I wanted like a nice seat because like I don't like being in the crowd like that.
Yeah.
I like enjoying things in my own secluded kind of way. Where like granted, like when you're in a seat, you're not really like there's people all sitting around you, but like the pit has this different kind of like everyone's nut to butt, And then like at one point they did start fucking mosh pitting for a minute, and then like I'm like, oh my god, I'm not trying to get my kneecaps taken out or something,
Is it that kind of energy in their music?
Well, they had one song where they told everybody that they were to give away a guitar from the guitar, like the I think Mark Termini or something, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to give away a guitar to the person in the crowd that they saw being the most lively and energetic. And then like that turned into them like in the middle of that song, the people in the middle of the pit, or I'm sorry, the general mission pit,
Yeah.
doing a fucking mosh pit. And where thankfully it didn't expand out to the area I was at, but I was worried. I'm not gonna lie, because I told you I've been standing for a long ass time at this point.
It just
my
doesn't
body
seem like
was like unstable. I'm not that strong yet.
Yeah.
And to have to like try and brace myself for like a pit battle, I want nothing to do with that. I'm 39. Like I didn't like that shit when I was younger. Definitely don't want to do that shit now.
I was about to say it just doesn't seem like your kind of energy.
It's not. And that's why I didn't want to be down there. It was like, now granted, in retrospect, having done it now,
Yeah.
it was like a really good show. It turned out well. Great view. Like it was almost like the entire arena behind me didn't even exist.
Yeah.
And like I have like some really good pictures that I took of like Scott's staff and some of the scenery and everything. And so like, that was cool, like to have that opportunity to be able to do that with my phone. But like I do enjoy, sitting in seats. So like, would this make me reconsider that in the future? Probably not. If it ended up happening again and like the group wanted to do it, would I go along with it? Sure. But if I had the choice, I would like to sit, But, maybe that's just a personal flaw that I need to work on.
Flaw? No, sir. We won't accept that kind of talk.
Well, I mean, like I sit all the fucking time. Would it kill me to stand for a while? That kind of ideology. But I guess if I'm looking at it from pure enjoyment perspective, for me, sitting that would make me enjoy it more. Like I get so mad when I go to like a wrestling show, and like I understand when someone comes out and people are excited, they stand up to watch the entrance and shit. But like if they're just in the ring cutting a promo, then sit the fuck down.
Like, sir.
Like,
I'm trying to see this. I'm trying to be entertained. I paid for this ticket.
Yeah, like it's like you standing or you sitting. Like it's the same show. Sit the fuck down. We paid for the chairs. Use them. It's just the same way I get mad with the people who like leave make you stand up to leave every 30 seconds to go to like the fucking bathroom or to buy your refreshments or whatever. Like just sit down. You paid for the show.
Yeah.
It's like going to the fucking movies and standing up like as soon as the opening credits start. Like come on, man.
I dig it. That's the second time in very short order you were in the old field house as you got to see the Hawks play last week and beat us. Yeah. So
that one hurt because I was there with a Hawks fan too, and he talks a lot.
Anytime you tell me about this person who roots for a team that he has no real whatever for, I'm like, that's weird, man. It always seems wildly suspicious. But again, I have an NFC team, and people are gonna be like, you root for them because they win. I go, no, I love them because they had Randall Cunningham back in the day. Wasn't a lot of black quarterbacks when I was little. Damn it, younger, not little. I was young, so I get it. But at the same time, it's also like, I don't know, man. You ain't gonna be coming up in my root for the Hawks of all. Come on, bruh. That's too specific. Who the fuck is people in Atlanta don't root for the Hawks, and I'm not joking. Oh my gosh! But were you in the suite? Would you have had as much fun at the Creed show like if you were in the suite per se?
It would have been a different show for sure.
Yeah.
The thing about the suites, like, they're comfortable and like the accommodations are nice, but like you are sacrificing view, which I like. You know, it's part of the game. But when you get it, like, you know, because of my buddy, you know, most of the time when I get into a suite, like at this point, it's like every time,
Yeah.
it's free, so it's like, you know, in suite bathroom, usually food and drink, like comfy chair, like, and you don't have to pay. It's worth sacrificing, you know, the closeness of the stage, especially because that ticket to that fucking show was like $220.
Wow. So we'll get to it in entertainment, but you know, Kendrick announced a tour with SZA. It's going to be, and he's doing a stadium tour, so he's doing you know, outside stadium venues and so forth. And he just added a second show in Toronto, which means Toronto, home of Drake, sold so many tickets to his first show that they had to add a second show at the Rogers Center at the, you know, the Blue Jay Stadium that we've been to, and I'm just like, that is crazy. Yeah. But it's SZA and it's Kendrick, and it's like, come on, bro. Yeah, I definitely want to. I actually want to attend one of those, and we'll see what the universe brings. There's a lot going on right in that hunk of June. My kid graduates, and there's a family reunion that I might be made to attend. So, but who knows?
Buc-ee's opens up in Dayton, and
that's gotta be a SKiM road. You know, we do road trips every now and again, and we record.
My brothers are already demanding that I go with them.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't got to be there day one, but a road trip to Buc-ee's, you know what I'm saying, is definitely some SKiM type shit. So, if anything, we can finally go to Jungle Gyms and then maybe stop at Buc-ee's on the way back up. That's a weird way to go because you have to hook it that way to go to Dayton and then hook it back this way, but who knows? We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's crazy. How was Thanksgiving? Now, I don't need you to give me the depths of it unless you were so inclined, but I do want to get caught up, make sure everything was to your liking.
It's fine. I went over to my dad's, ate, hung out for a couple hours, and then came home and then got up for work the next day.
Yeah, that was some garbage. that right there is, I'm like, so it was Record Store Day. Black Friday Record Store Day, so of course. So there's a blend of a story time, lunchbox, and a bit of tea time. You know what I'm saying? We mix these things up. We hadn't talked in a little bit. So it's Black Friday Record Store Day, and I had my heart on a singular record this go around, maybe two if I saw another one. And so the store around here opens at 10, and I was like, all right, well, we're gonna slide out around 9:30. And my son was home. My oldest son was home, which is, you know, a rare treat. I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to go stand in line for records. He's like, all right. So we go stand in what actually was the cold, which kind of sucked. It's cold, way colder now, but it was still cold. And go through the whole process, go through the line. And, of course, they don't have the record, which stinks. I ended up buying a 7-inch of took a picture, luckily, so I can go right to my, if I go here and here. I can tell you that I got, there it is, Sam Cooke's Change on what they call it's a diamond single, diamond edition. It's just a mono version of the song on a real like interesting color vinyl. But then I just slide back to work, you know what I'm saying, and just keep it motherfucking moving for the remainder of the day. Plus, you know, they let us out early, so I got out, you know, a couple hours early. So that was like not too terrible. But yeah, man, Thanksgiving itself for me was a delight. As always, I keep that one just to my family, and I cooked. Oh, we got a new table back here. As y'all, if you've been watching Bake Off, you've seen that, but Jesse, Vanessa's third sister. Yeah, there are 4 of them. So was like, I'm getting a new table. You guys want my old table? And like Vanessa's been wanting to like not get rid of per se, but she's like the other table we had, you know, that we've had and you've seen because it's been here forever. is well and true old. Like I got it given to, we got it given to us by my kids' mom's family way back in the day, and that table has so much marker and scratches and scrapes and things from the children drawing all over. Well, my youngest child drawing all over it. So that table was fucked, and so we finally got rid of it and got this new one. Of course, that's the same tablecloth, so it does nothing for you. But new chairs and stuff like that. But we got to have Thanksgiving on the new table, which was lovely, and I got a big old free turkey from a Giant Eagle because we had enough points. So we got a little 20-pound bird that your man cooked up. I made mac and cheese. I made it like teeny. I made the TikTok lady's version recipe, which is actually relatively close to my own recipe. So it's not like it was too out of what I normally do. The difference being she uses cream, so I added that, and she blooms her spices in her roux, and I had never done that before, so I did that. And it really made for a very, very nice mac and cheese. I'm going to make you one, a little Percy size one, so you can try my chefery for that. I think you'd enjoy it. Dressing, rolls, you know what it is, man. But very good, and like my whole family here, and we ended up filming a little for the patrons, and the patrons already have it. We ended up Starry has added a cranberry flavor, and the Sprite already has a cranberry flavor, so we ended up doing a little taste test right there at the Thanksgiving table. I filmed it, then I edited it and put a little music behind it. It's very nice. It's a nice little video. It's up on, like I said, for patrons if you want to check that out. That was their November hookup, and it was very fun. And I was very appreciative of my family for jumping in and joining in on that good times, and so that was fun. Did you eat Black Friday shopping? I did. I got a couple. I don't know if that's even your thing, but I did get a couple things for the kids and Nessa.
I grabbed a couple things off Amazon that I had to grab for like Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And then like I had bought some protein bars and some Liquid Death because it was on sale on Amazon. But that was about the extent of it. Like I didn't go to the store anywhere or anything.
Yeah. I got a new as I drop it. I got a new mouse. It's very nice. It's very fancy. I like it. It actually sits in my hand just kind of funky because this is a big old button, and I'm sure it's just if you're playing a shooter, it's for pop it with your thumb instead of with your index. But I am not used to its placement because it sits kind of right where I don't know. I'll get used to it. It's a mouse, but it's a nice mouse, and I've only paid for like $10 for it. So I was like, thanks Amazon, that is a good deal. I got I got the kids a couple of things, and I got Vanessa a gift. And then part of Vanessa's gift, I had to actually go to the store to pick up, which is so dumb. But that's just how that's how in this case Best Buy was like, this you got to get in the store. And the other part of the gift is still stuck in shipping. It has a FedEx number. It says that it was in Georgia, and it has not moved. So we'll see what goes on there. And I'm sure at some point, because they'll just probably just send me a copy from another store or whatever, but still. But like I said, I'm not really a Black Friday guy, and I definitely didn't go to the store. I actually went to the store yesterday to get that thing, the thing that I had to pick up from Best Buy. So that was very recent. I didn't go on Black Friday, none of that.
I was looking to see if like those robotic litter boxes were on sale for my new kittens.
Yeah.
But like it was like normally $750 on sale for $700. I was like, I'm good. I'll wait.
Are they there yet? Have you brought them home?
They are here.
Okay.
They've been here for about a week and a half now.
Okay.
It took like 2 days for the girl to adjust, and now she's like watching people cook in the kitchen. She's running around playing. She even came down to the basement today for like a couple minutes. Got a little brave. Yeah, she's like, she loves it here now. Okay. She does not like being picked up. Like, you can pet her on her terms, but like if you try to pick her up, she's just like, no, get the fuck off me. And then the boy, like the first like night they were here, he was okay, but like he was kind of hiding with her behind the Christmas tree.
Okay.
And then like the next night, he was all like lovey and like he hopped up next to me on the couch and You know, he was licking me and rolling around and purring and shit. And then it was like a couple days went by, and the motherfucker acted like he don't know me no more. It was like he played me.
I love you when I love you, and no more than that, sir.
I think he just likes he figured out the accommodations. He's like, oh, I'm good. You ain't gonna take it back. He's like, I'm already here, so I don't gotta pretend to like your ass no more. And so he sleeps in a little cat condo.
Okay.
You know, he eats some food. The girl definitely is the food demon.
Okay.
She will eat both portions of food if given the opportunity. Like you can pet him, but he's got to sniff you. He's got to sniff you first.
Yeah.
And it ain't for that long. And like he don't come up by me no more. Like he'll come up on the coffee table and try and get my food if I'm eating or something.
Yeah.
But like he don't come kick it to me no more. Like he's a little son of a bitch.
I don't know, man. He came to you first night and thanked you. He showed you his gratitude, and he's like, "All right, man. I'm gonna holler at you." like, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. These cats know who they are as individuals, and they gonna be respected. Like, don't pick me up to fuck off me.
Yeah, I try to like pick them up and cradle them, and they're just like they push, and then they spring. Like the girl, I picked her up and I was standing up in the dining room and she jumped out of my arms and went like full on like woof to the ground.
Like whatever's gonna be is gonna be.
Yeah. She's like, I'd rather break every paw in my body than have you hold me.
That is wild. Oh my gosh. Cats are such an interesting group of animal, man. They just be really on their own bullshit. But I'm glad you got them. I know it'd been on your mind and on your heart. Like, all right, it's time for you to grow, open that part of your heart up again. That's dope. So that's nice. And eventually you'll find them a proper price litter box. Cause, well, I don't know, cause these tariffs come through. I don't know where they make them shits at. Ain't like they building them motherfuckers in America. They not.
Actually, that one, the litter robot, they actually are an American-based company where they make them here. That's part of the appeal. But I ain't paying no $700 right now. So,
like, no, sir. Just simply no. What you need is somebody to teach you how to build it from scratch yourself. Like, I just need these parts. This is how you build a litter robot. It's probably somewhere out there. Gotta get you a 3D printer, some other thing, which will probably in the end end up being like more like $700. So you probably just are good to either or is on this situation. Oh my God. My kid got accepted to one college. We have applied to another college. We'll see how that all plays out. Let's see. But that's good. Trying to check down on anything else. Anything else popping with it all? We just wrapped up Krunchy, our Great British Bake Off podcast. That season just finished, and we just recorded that episode this week. We recorded Tuesday of this week, and the episode actually will be out tomorrow. And so that will have been out like a week by the time you hear this. And so that's done. We're going to do one more episode. We're going to do the Great American Baking Show Holiday Special is available on the Roku channel. We're going to do our reaction to that. So I got to watch that here during the weekend to get ready for that. I'm trying to think. Anything else I need to catch y'all up on, man? Not really. I'm sorry, y'all. Just like I said, it's a busy life, but it's actually at the same time kind of just a life. So not a lot of stories to tell quite yet. Cavaliers are very close to maintaining a victory against the twice removed champs, the Denver Nuggets, who are a very different team at this point. But still, I felt like that could be a challenge for us. And here we are about to take care of business. What are we talking about? Take a peek at this Lions game. 10-zip Lions. So that's what the deal is with that. We root for the Lions. Well, no, the Green Bay is your NFC team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I don't hate the Lions though. I don't mind the Lions.
Yeah. I bang with the Lions because my man Mike Fowler and all the Detroit homies that I've had that we have. So you know what I'm saying. I have no anti-Lion or whatever in this situation.
They've been just as bad as we've been.
Yeah, and if not worse, because they blanked it one season, right?
I mean, we did too.
Did we lose all the games in the season before?
Yeah, I went to the parade. Remember?
Oh my god! For whatever reason, I thought we ended up winning one. And people
They
were
did
mad.
it before. They did it before we did.
Okay.
No, but we went 1-15, and then like we went 0-16, or one. It was reversed, one or the other.
Yeah.
We won one game in 2 years. It was that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not much better now. So, but still, it's good. It's cool to see. It is possible for a team to have a good coach and decent ownership and they go on to success and maybe whatever. So maybe it'll never happen for us per se, but I can at least look up north and be like, look, it can happen, just not here. So, oh, I don't like the name of the name of the new Toronto WNBA team. I think it's whack. It's the Toronto. It's a Toronto Tempo. It's alliterative, so that's fun. But I don't really like a lot of WNBA team names. I like the WNBA as it is. But they names, all right, let's just take a look. The Atlanta Dream. I get it. Martin Luther King, was born in Atlanta. So I know what you're doing there. The Chicago Sky. I don't know what they're doing there. I guess United Airlines is headquartered in Chicago. We're leaning toward that. The Skyline? I don't know. The Connecticut Sun. Does the sun shine brighter in Connecticut in some way that I'm unaware of? The Indiana Fever. I fully don't understand that. That seems to be the Indiana illness, is what you're calling yourself at that point. The New York Liberty, probably one of the best names in the game. Makes perfect sense, fits everything, the whole vibe, got a Statue of Liberty vibe going on, perfect. The Washington Mystics goes hand in hand with the Washington Wizards, perfect. No notes. The Dallas Wings. Again, what's happening? Got some flight situation that I'm unaware of in Dallas that connects up with that? The Golden State Valkyries have just recently been named. So that's that. Fuck with it. Valkyries and Warriors? Yes, please. Again, no notes. The Las Vegas Aces? Perfect. Perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Gambling town. Aces. Beautiful. The LA Sparks has never made sense to me. What are we doing here? It was before weed was legal they got that, so we wouldn't sparking up no crime. I don't know. Don't like that name. The Minnesota Lynx. Lynx, Timberwolves, yes, fine. The Phoenix Mercury. The mercury in the thermometer, sure thing. The sun would fit better out there, but you already got that now, don't you? But still. The Seattle Storm, great. I get it. I can understand that one, that's fine. And of course, like I said, it's not there yet, oddly enough, because I think they just announced it or it leaked. The Toronto Temple, of course, will be the new Eastern Conference team, and the Valkyries are the new Western Conference team in the WNBA. And hopefully sooner than later we'll get it. 126-114, your final Cavaliers over the Nuggets. We are now 20-3. Best record in the association, so that's what's up. But, yeah, man, don't really appreciate the WNBA names. And I hope when we get a squad here, we have a better name situation popping off. What would go good with the Cavaliers? Like, I kind of like the idea of, Valkyries, Warriors, Mystics, Wizards, that kind of situation. So if we took the Cavaliers, what would work well with the Cavaliers?
I don't know, like, what's another female warrior?
Yeah.
Or because there wasn't really a female musketeer, right?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, sexism was running rampant during those times. And I don't want the rockers back.
No, I actually didn't like it to begin with. I get it, but
I just don't want to associate this town's identity with rock and roll and
yeah.
I know more rap artists that come out of Cleveland than rock acts,
For sure. Okay, here's some female warrior. No, that's names of actual warriors. I want to know female warrior classes. I guess is what I need to look up. Female warrior classes, because they actually give it names like.
What about the Cleveland Rogue?
Yeah, I can understand that. Let's see, warriors.
It's in fantasy video games and stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Female characters are generally got that rogue in between, that tweener vibe about them, you know, where they're kind of like an assassin,
Yeah.
but like they're still kind of tough, but they're smaller, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Putting it on the list. It kind of fits. Cavaliers and Rogues. Yes. Yeah. Cavaliers. What? Okay. What exactly is a Cavalier when one thinks about it? So let's look up that. A Cavalier. Maybe work it out from there. The term Cavalier was first used by Roundheads as a term of abuse for the wealthier royalist supporters of Charles I of England and his son Charles II during the English Civil War, the interregnum, and the Restoration. It was later adopted by the royalists themselves, so they got talk wild about it, and they're like, "I'll be a Cavalier, motherfucker, say something." Derives from the Latin root as an Italian word cavaliere, the French word chevalier, and the Spanish word caballero, so cowboy, the vulgar Latin word caballerius, meaning horseman. So what's a horsewoman? We're about to name this damn Cleveland team that don't exist, that we're just dreaming about. Horsewoman. Name. No, I don't want women's horse's name. Man, all they're trying to do is give me horse names. Beautiful female horse name. Oh my god. Let's see. Shakespeare used the word cavalleros to describe overbearing swashbuckler or swaggering gallant in Henry IV, Part 2. That means there's probably like a lady variation of the theme. We're going to figure it out. And if we don't, maybe you'll figure it out and tell us what the hell we were supposed to be talking about. But that's what it is, y'all. That's basically, you're caught up on our existence and you've had some news here. So you know what we got to do next. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to the mean streets of Reddit. And we got to see. Asshole people, and I got one. It's a 3-parter. It's basically, am I the asshole for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food for Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal? Then there's an update, and then there's a final update. But we got a fan, the homeboy, Dr. Moxford, PhD. And he wrote to us on Threads and was like, "Hey, I got a personal am of the asshole to submit for consideration if you're interested." And my response was, write it up and email it, pimp. podcast@stacecrunchymilk.com. And to which he's done. So let me go dive into our email. And I'm going to read you my man's am of the asshole. Now, what he didn't do was title it, so he's just going to call it Moxford, Am I the Asshole? My partner, female 37, and I, male 37, planned a trip with our adoptive high-needs son, 11, and my partner's aunt to Tennessee over the Thanksgiving weekend. So we get double the Thanksgiving, 2 helpings, baby. We went back for seconds. This was in lieu of doing traditional Thanksgiving dinner with my mother, grandfather, brother, and his partner. We had started making plans back in July and invited my mother to come with us, but she declined in favor of traditional dinner. A few days after Thanksgiving, I messaged my brother an innocent, albeit random question about an old gaming console, and he proceeds to tell me I don't care about my grandfather or my family, that I let my wife control me. Am I the asshole for missing traditional dinner to make the holiday break more manageable for myself, wife, and son? Thanks for considering it, and let me know if you have any additional questions. That's a relatively clear situation. I don't think I need any. You need any extras to make sense of this, to make hay of this? You're telling me you started making plans in July for an event in November? Had indeed invited your mom, and who decline. And your brother has the audacity to be like, you want some nonsense. Sir. This is one of the ones where I'd almost call you an asshole for writing it in because it's too easy. No, you're not an asshole. And in fact, it's very fucked up of your brother to approach you on that like that, on that bullshit. Your brother's the asshole in this situation. It's real fucked up. And you can always ask us questions about video games. We're pretty good at it.
I almost wish that people would be more like this guy and start planning shit more in advance. Like, I'm tired of getting invited to shit like this, like at like the last second.
Like, bruh. Like I said, that means y'all plotted, scheme, and made an idea on the plan and got business taken care of. That's great. Boxers told a story earlier today how some of his friends are not great planners. I never worry about shit when I go with Dan places. Now, yeah, I'll sprinkle in, hey, I would like to maybe go here or something like that there. But most of the time, Box got a plan, and we ride. It's relatively easy. It's a good thing to make plans. It's a good thing to be aware of what's going on. I am certain you have an affinity for your grandparents. And again, it's the holiday season. We got like 3 more holidays before the year wraps, don't we? Yeah, depending on what your religious persuasions are. You got some Christmas. You got Hanukkah starting the day after Christmas. You got New Year's Eve. One of those, you gonna see your peoples, and what I'm saying is, I'm sure they were fine with it because again, you planned early, and asked, "Hey, you trying to get down?" And they declined. Like I said, that's so whack of your brother. And you know what I would ask? How was Tennessee? How was the trip? What'd y'all eat? That's the only information I would like you to feed me in this situation. I'm always down to find out how it went down and how your Tennessee folk was, how your wife's people's was. Oh my God, that bullshit! Though you let your wife control you. What are you not supposed to? I'm spiraling. I'm so mad. This is one of the situations you got me worked. So what?
They need to get a divorce.
You ain't supposed to kick it with your wife's people every now and again, every so often. Like that's what relationships are. You know what I'm saying? You depend on one another, and sometimes, bro. So here's the deal. For me, I keep Thanksgiving to myself. That's me and my family, the nuclear family. Now, the door's always open. And like, so if anybody ever wants to come through and, get a plate, cool, no worries. But at the table is me and my kids and my lady. That's what I did. I don't go to people's houses for Thanksgiving. I'm not a guy who likes to go kick it with people for Thanksgiving. What I'm going to do next year when my child will be off? I hope they can come home for Thanksgiving. Jesus Christ. But in theory, my kid could be off to college. And my oldest, so here's what's fun. My oldest, his lady's family don't do holidays at all, basically, apparently. So they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So he took her a plate. I was like, well, that's dope, man. And also, she probably just could have came over here if she were so inclined. But I just told you, I try to keep that one a little personal and to myself. But Christmas, we go to her mom's house. And somewhere in there, we try to get to her dad's house. And I don't make us think about it. My kids used to, and maybe they will this year, go to their grandmom's on Christmas Eve. And as they are no contact with their grandma now, their mom's mom, maybe they'll hang with their uncle or their aunt or whatever. I'm unsure what their plans are. But that's what it always was or ever was. For what I'm saying, so it's sharing. I keep Thanksgiving for myself. Easter I'm weird about. I am not too keen on celebrating Easter, and it's because it's just not my faith. I know I was raised in the Christian church, but I'm like, I don't consider myself a Christian anymore. And Easter is the big Christian holiday. I know everybody thinks Christmas is, but the reality of it is the basis of the faith is Easter, which is the spring holiday. And so sometimes I'll go to Vanessa's her mom's house for Easter. But not really a big stink to me in either way. You know what I'm saying? That's not one I really gets down with. So your brother's being weird, real weird, and he owes you an apology for that, for approaching you like that. And I'm not saying it has to be the most dripping wet apology of like I'm so sorry, but it could be, man, I'm sorry. That was whack of me. And if you are so inclined, you can accept that apology. You do not have to. Remember, the apologies are more for the people who are giving them than the person receiving them. You do not have to receive that if you are not so inclined. But if he come through and he say, "Yeah, man, that was whack of me, and I'm sorry," I would hope you take it on your heart and be like, "All right, man, we good. Keep motherfucking moving." Again, any questions about video games, you come this way. We got you. Consistently. Me and Box go way back in our video gamery. So, you know what I'm saying? Box was a Genesis man in his youth. And so, you know, if you're in that area, you kind of holler at him about it. And I'm Nintendo down. Down. Although it's a big old PlayStation portal right here. So, you know what I'm saying? Lots of stuff goes down in the realm of video games. In the other realm of Thanksgiving, I'm the assholes. Let me start you with this one. Am the asshole for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food for Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal. This is from Society Tiny 784 on the Great Value Am the Asshole AITAH. Every year, our family does a big Thanksgiving dinner, and we all typically bring a dish or two. My sister, who's a lovely person in every other way, insists on cooking something homemade every time. The issue? She's not a great cook. And I don't mean just not great. I mean she has somehow managed to turn classic dishes into borderline inedible creations. For context, the last Thanksgiving she showed up with her special recipe stuffing that was over-seasoned with random spices like cinnamon and cardamom. It was dry and the flavors were confusing and totally off for stuffing. Only one person took a small bite and the rest went untouched. Another year, she brought a green bean casserole that had some kind of strange, chewy texture. She later admitted she used coconut milk and almond flour to experiment. No one wanted seconds of that either.
Let me cut you off right there. Holiday get-togethers are not the time for experimentation. Do that on your own time.
I'm just gonna find you the clip. Because I think it all needs to be stated. just one time for the one time. That's what I'm gonna play you this little something, okay?
Sorry, since you fucked up the macaroni and cheese, you're cleaning up all this shit by yourself. Junior, Dejana, nor me are gonna help you clean up. We told you don't put that shit in the macaroni and cheese, but you insist on putting it. So since you want to do things your damn way, we gonna do shit our way. We getting ready to go upstairs and go to sleep while you clean up all this shit for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you, but guess what? This shit ain't fair that we couldn't even get a decent thing of macaroni and cheese. We gotta wait to go back to Goose for Auntie Carrie to make us some damn macaroni and damn cheese. Cause you decided to do some bullshit you done seen off the damn internet. Don't experiment on damn Thanksgiving. Don't experiment on Thanksgiving. You experiment by your damn self.
You experiment by your damn self. This year I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Since I'm responsible for putting it all together, I want to keep the menu consistent so that people could actually enjoy a cohesive meal. I thought I'd avoid drama by asking her to bring non-food items instead, like wine, soda, or even flowers. I explained to her, very kindly I thought, that I just wanted to make things easy and streamlined and I could handle main dishes, and she didn't take it well. She got offended and told me I was being controlling and shutting her out of the family gathering. She then accused me of making her feel inadequate and said that Thanksgiving is about everyone contributing and not me deciding what's acceptable. I told her that everyone appreciates her effort, but that she could contribute in other ways and still be a part of it. She doubled down and said she's bringing her famous green bean casserole, whether I like it or not. Now, my mom and a couple of other family members have chimed in saying I should just let her bring whatever she wants because it's Thanksgiving and it's the thought that counts. Motherfuckers. They're acting like I'm committing some huge offense by wanting the food to be enjoyable for everyone and not have random experimental dishes that no one will eat. But I feel like I'm just trying to keep the meal enjoyable and, frankly, edible. I don't think it's wrong to want guests to actually enjoy the food, especially since I'm putting a lot of effort to host. Am I really being unreasonable here? Am I the asshole? Update. All right, well, things have escalated fast. Thanks to everyone who offered advice, I tried to compromise, but it's already turning into a whole thing, and Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away. After our last conversation, my sister being pretty pretty cagey about what she planned to make. So I reached out to my mom, hoping she'd help smooth things over. Instead, she got defensive, saying I'm overthinking it and that it's just one dish. And I told her I wasn't sure it was just one dish anymore, especially after hearing about my sister's grocery haul, including canned oysters and edible glitter. God. Then my mom let it slip that my sister has been hard at work on some creative menu she's planning at her Thanksgiving surprise. Apparently, she's telling the family group chat, which I wasn't included in, by the way, that I'm being controlling and that she wants to expand everyone's palate with something truly unique. To top it off, my cousin sent me a screenshot from the group chat where my sister said she's bringing not one, but 3 dishes to Thanksgiving now. She's calling them her Thanksgiving trio experience, complete with her own place settings and little menu cards she's designing. I'm officially panicking because I have no idea what she's planning to serve, and from what I've heard, it's not remotely traditional. At this point, half the family thinks I'm overreacting, while the other half is texting me things like, is she really bringing glittered sweet potatoes? I feel stuck. If I try to control it anymore, then I'm the bad guy. But if I don't, Thanksgiving might turn into a tasting event of my sister's avant-garde cooking. So yeah, Thanksgiving is weeks away and it's already becoming a family spectacle. I don't know whether to brace myself or just preemptively order pizza. So then we updated this. All right, so Thanksgiving is now just a little over 2 weeks away. And somehow things escalated even further than I thought possible. I thought maybe my sister's Thanksgiving trio experience would be the peak of the drama. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Since the last update, my sister has become fully committed to making her dishes the main attraction. She's been dropping hints in the family chat, which I'm still not included in, but shout out to my cousin for the screenshots, about how this Thanksgiving will be one to remember and calling it her Thanksgiving debut. She apparently has been referring to herself as the Thanksgiving head chef and has hinted that she's bringing some kind of culinary surprise centerpiece that will transform the whole experience. From what I can piece together, she's planning a main statement dish in addition to her original 3 sides. I'm picturing something equally bizarre, but on a much larger scale, and honestly, I'm terrified. If her green bean casserole was already pushing it, I can't imagine what she's thinking is worthy of being the centerpiece. Then to make things weirder, my mom texted me privately and suggested that I step back this year and let my sister shine, since she's so excited about her contributions. My mom thinks if we just give her the moment, it'll make her happy and she'll get it out of her system. She even hinted that maybe I should focus on decorations and drinks instead of main dishes, which feels like an attempt to turn hosting over to my sister without actually saying it. So now I'm left with a choice. Go along with my mom's plan and let my sister essentially hijack Thanksgiving, or keep pushing back and risk a family showdown. I just wanted a nice Thanksgiving with dishes everyone could enjoy, but it seems like I'm either about to hand over the whole meal to her or prepare for some serious drama. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, and I'm already feels like a circus. I'm half tempted to just sit back and see what chaos unfolds, but part of me is still worried about subjecting the whole family to whatever artistic statement she has planned. This is her mama being, what is it called when you just try to... when you just let somebody get away with murder, basically. What's her mom is doing her sister a disservice by letting her take over what was already planned. Again, when plans is made, people, enabler. Thank you. Her mom is being an enabler to her sister's bullshit, and she got to chill with that. Not cool at all. Final updates. This is a week ago, which was Thanksgiving, so this actually has happened. So now let's get caught up on what it went down. Thanksgiving dinner is officially over, and I genuinely don't know where to start. I feel like I just lived through a fever dream of culinary chaos and family drama, and I need a moment to breathe before I can even process everything. My cousin and I are heading out for drinks to dissect all of it, because honestly, what just happened deserves its own Netflix special. I'll post photos later when I get home, but for now, let me try to give you the rundown. So my sister showed up earlier than expected, which I should have seen coming. She came in like a storm, carrying not just 3 dishes, but also like this giant platter wrapped in foil, which she was clearly trying to make a big deal about. She immediately started rearranging the table, moving my dishes to the side so hers could take center stage. She even brought her own table runner and candles, saying something about setting the mood for a creative dining experience. I decided not to fight her on it because at this point, I just wanted to get through the night without a blow up. Her trio experience? Well, let's just say it was everything I feared and more. She started with, she really did have glittery sweet potatoes box. A glittery sweet potato mash that somehow managed to taste like a mix of sugar and sand. The glitter wasn't even edible glitter. It was craft glitter, which I didn't realize until one of the kids said, "This is crunchy." And I looked closer. Then there was a cranberry and oyster relish. Yes, oysters and cranberries. It looked like someone had spilled jam into clam chowder, and the smell alone was enough to make me lose my appetite. Finally, she brought a pumpkin curry casserole that had raisins. How the fuck is work? Why? Leave the damn raisins alone. That had raisins in it for some reason, and this weird fishy smell that clung to the air for way too long. She probably used fish sauce. But the piece de resistance was her surprise centerpiece dish, which turned out to be a turkey gelatin mold. Yes, she took ground turkey, mixed it with some kind of broth and seasoning, and turned it into a wobbly, translucent mold shaped like a turkey. She even garnished it with parsley and cherry tomatoes to make it festive. I wish I were kidding. The entire table went silent when she unveiled it, except for my cousin, who immediately started coughing to cover up what I'm pretty sure was a laugh. Things hit their peak when my mom, who had been defending her this entire time, took one bite of the gelatin mold and just froze. She didn't say anything, but you could see the regret on her face. My sister, noticing the lack of enthusiasm, decided to go on this long speech about how Thanksgiving food is too boring and how she's trying to challenge our palates. She even called my ham and mashed potatoes uninspired, which was rich come from someone serving glitter sand potatoes. Glitter sand potatoes. The breaking point came when my aunt, who's usually the peacekeeper, tried the gelatin mold and actually gagged. She tried to be polite about it, but my sister saw her reaction and completely lost it. She started yelling about how nobody in this family supports her and how we're all stuck in the past with our unoriginal food. She even accused me of sabotaging her dishes by not hyping them up enough to everyone. At this point, half the table was trying not to laugh, and the other half was staring at their plates, wondering how we got here. My sister ended up storming out of the house, but not before saying something along the lines of, "You'll regret not appreciating my vision when I'm famous." She left most of her food behind, which my cousin and I quietly threw out after dinner. The rest of the night actually turned out to be pretty nice once the tension was gone. My dad's emergency ham was a lifesaver. Emergency ham might be a show title. I love that. Emergency ham was a lifesaver. And everyone agreed that next year we're either going to a restaurant or just skipping Thanksgiving altogether. So now I'm sitting here wondering how this even became my life. I'll post photos later. You all need to see the turkey gelatin mold to believe it. But for now, I'm off to grab a drink or three with my cousins and to cry over everything that just went down. This Thanksgiving was truly something else, and I don't know whether to feel relieved it's over or to brace myself for whatever fresh cast my sister is planning for next year. Stay tuned for photos. It's going to be worth it. Oh my God, I want to scroll down. I hope there's... Let me go find her Reddit, see if she posted these things. I don't see anything that would tell me that this has pictures, but yeah, no pictures that I see, but I truly hope if some pictures pop up, but trust me, I'll link it in the notes. That way you guys can check it out. Wow, that's wild! What an adventure! I'm certainly glad I read that and that it actually ended up wrapping up with a final update. And again, all these will always be linked in the show notes, with the exception of the one my man Moxford wrote in, because that's in the email. I can't link it to the show notes, now can I? That was the episode for the week. We'll do it again next time. Let's jump over to entertainment. Box, what have you been watching, reading, grooving to, checking out?
So I watched this show on Amazon Prime called Cross.
The Alex Cross show with my man from God, what show was he in? I gotta dig back. I know that brother. He was in a show some years back on TNT, and I can't think of where it was like Five Thieves. You remember that show?
I know. I never really watched it, but I remember him in the commercials.
Yeah. So that brother playing Alex Cross now.
I knew him from Friday Night Lights. He was Voodoo.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, so I watched that. It was like 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I saw a TikTok of it the other day. I guess he was talking, maybe his brother. He was like, "You had me a motherfucker." I don't know the rest of that, but that part right there, I was like,
I love that scene. It was pretty funny.
I think it looks like a pretty cool show. I wouldn't mind watching it just based off that. And your recommendation means it must be a pretty good show, so I'll fuck with it.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed it. And then it got me like, I saw like an article pop up on my phone where it was like, if you like this show, here's like other shows that you might like that are similar to this.
Okay.
And on the list was another Amazon Prime show from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Called Bosch. And so I started watching that. It's another cop show.
Okay.
And I finished the first season of that in like a day and a half. And I'm halfway through season 2 now. So it's got like 7 seasons or something like that. So good bit of source material for me to get through.
Excellent. Dig. Play anything? Anything else? Watch anything else?
I played some Call of Duty. That's about it.
I got into basically a free for all. You know, I played a little bit of everything. I played one where like, I don't know, it ends up being the other team, but is I don't know, zombies, plant monsters. I don't know what the hell they were. We played, but it was a real tight area we was playing. Basically, we was running around an apartment, or maybe an apartment complex or something. And I was like, damn, bro. And so it's like, you know, it's real quick kills and respawns for that particular map. But I had a good time with that. Did I talk about Balatro? Balatro is it's a card-based roguelite. Basically, you're making poker hands, but there's these jokers that'll give you special power-ups. And I've been playing it on my phone the whole time, but this went on sale. Ended up getting it for like $10 from Best Buy. This guy had some Best Buy dollars or whatever. Fantastic. Might be up there for some people for Game of the Year. In fact, it is nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, which are next week. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection finally showed up. What I got this one for was, of course, for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is one of my favorite fighting games ever, and absolutely love it. Look, it comes with a cool comic book. So I dig that. I played a little more Alan Wake 2. Played some Fortnite. Got a Royale. I downloaded the video. I don't think I posted anywhere, so I have to post that somewhere. It was one of my best video Royales I've ever had. Box man, I got a beat on the motherfucker, and I was like zip, and just done. I was like, okay, look at I don't know. Normally I be fucking up and missing, but no, I got that scope on that dude, and it was over for his ass. I was very happy with that particular win. I am watching. Of course, we just wrapped up the Great British Bake Off, which you are aware of. I told you because we do a whole show about it. So that was one of the best seasons ever. The winner really won that bitch, and in the end, so I got to give it up to her. But it also ended in a way that was just so wonderful. And the post, basically the post report, basically was like, hey, this person's doing this person's doing that, and it ended up being wonderful. And so I very much enjoyed that. Yeah, you can listen to Krunchy if you want to hear our entire recap, review, and thoughts on that particular show. Shrinking on Apple TV is almost done this season. Season 2 is almost done. We only got like one episode. A new episode came out yesterday, and the last one of the season I believe is next week, unless they gave it 12 like they did Ted Lasso, and I don't know if they did. So if it's 10 episodes, then next week is episode 10, and that's where we finish up for this particular season. It has been approved for season 3, but this season has been fantastic. Silo is also back on Apple TV, and we're 3 episodes in on that. So if you fuck with Silo for season 1, season 3 is here, season 2 is here, and it's very good so far. And I ended up reading all the Silo books after watching season 1 of Silo, and so far, it's very much like the book, which of course, I love. I hate when things veer too far from the source material, and this so far is really holding to it, and so I dig that. And a couple of Fridays back, Kendrick Lamar dropped an album out of nowhere. Surprise! It's called GNX, which stands for Grand National Experimental, which was a car that Buick released. Only so many of them. Is a very interesting vehicle. My son talks to me about it all the time now, and what was cool about it and what was not cool about it. And this album is 12 songs. 12 songs, about 43 minutes long. There are no skips. It is a perfect album, which is wild to say in this day and age. you should get down with it. And when I hear somebody, I can't judge people. Somebody don't like this album, they don't like the album. But I hear people say things like, "It's okay, it's mid." I'm like, what do you normally listen to that has you saying this? And because me, my friends, are all like, "This is fire." The internet as a whole seems to be like, "This is fire." So then when somebody comes out and says, in this case, it was the Kid Mero, formerly of Deezus and Mero, saying, "It's all right, it's mid," you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what do you listen to? And can I trust your opinion on these matters? Because people like Joe Budden are saying, and it's not like I'm a huge Joe Budden fan, but Joe Budden is an MC, and he speaks from an MC's perspective on his podcast, and he's like, "Yo, this might be like the perfect little spin, the most perfect little release." And so like there are people like him who really, really love this album. I can tell you right now, my current favorite song off of that is "TV Off." It's a DJ Mustard produced track, and it's insane. It has this beat switch that's ridiculous. That it's a great album. You should be fucking with it, and get down on that. Am I watching anything else? I think that's everything I'm watching. I want to go see Wicked, but I hadn't got a chance to because it just be sold out everywhere. So that movie is popping right now. But at some point, I want to just slide in and go check that out. Hopefully this weekend, maybe if the theaters will calm down. Yeah, I told you what I'm playing. I'm not reading anything right now. Finished the recent season of Monopoly Go, needing 3 stickers that I could not get because I was gold locked, and I was very upset about it. On to the next. If I count it, there's like 16 gold stickers for this one, so we'll see how it all plays out. Monopoly Go be on some bullshit sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Gonna make me retire. Like, fuck this game.
Yeah, it gets frustrating.
Yeah. I don't. When you get gold locked and can't do nothing about it, that's bullshit. So I hate that, and I hate that it even played out like that. But yeah. But there you go, people. That's what's cracking. That was a show, a whole ass episode. Sorry, we've been out. Like Thanksgiving was one week, and another week, it just was like, I don't know. We couldn't make it happen, and that was what it was. And so we didn't make it happen. I know that seems so out of pocket because we're usually so whatever it heads down about the show, but I feel like we've been doing a show for long enough that every now and again we can just be like, nah, I'm good this week, and it's never disrespectful to you. Plus, it's like so many episodes we've done. Go hit the back catalog, find something neat, and just go grab anyone, and you'll be like, that's interesting. You'll have a great time, I promise. That is, of course, our missing man is, of course, the 216's own Tatum. Send him some love. That is Lunchbox 2099.
Nailed it.
At all times, sir. Thank you for it. I am the Internet's Taylor 713. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.